All right, Shalom. I want to first start off giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak. And peace and blessings unto the elect of the nation of Israel, which is us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We make up the biblical 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. In this lesson, I want to get straight to the point. I watched the Apostle Tahar's video that he did entitled, "The Lord Came for the Elect Only," says Vocab Malone. The Lord came for the elect only, says Vocab Malone. And if you watched the Apostle Tahar's video, or watched the actual video where Vocab Malone was going back and forth, okay, I don't know the name of those pages, okay, but I do know on the Apostle Tahar page, he got a part 1 and 2. The Lord came for the elect only, says Vocab Malone. You'll hear Vocab Malone clearly say that they don't believe that the Lord came for the whole world, but he came for the elect. I'm roughly paraphrasing how he said it, right? And I'm pretty sure there's other, I've heard other so-called Christians, they didn't use the word elect, but they said that in a roundabout way, that the Lord is only coming for the ones that believe or believe in who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. They said, of course, Christ, the believers. Okay. So, dealing with the word elect, when you read the scriptures, it's clear. It's not something deep, or you got to go do some soul searching, and you got to go looking up all these different words. It's clear who the elect is, because the scriptures clearly says who the elect is, just like the apostle went into and other men been going into, the apostle Tahar and other men. So this is just a video just to add on to the spirit. The elect is the Israelites, okay, and not the whole nation, okay. But ultimately the whole nation, but the Lord first came for the elect of the nation of Israel, and ultimately the whole nation of Israel, which is also the Lord's Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, elect. Okay, so let's hit these scriptures. I'm gonna start off right here first. Isaiah 44:1. It says, "Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel." You know what? Salakia. Okay, what I want to do is I'm gonna start it. Salakia. I'm gonna bring that scripture out, but I want to start it because it is a point that I want to make. I want to start at Isaiah 45 and go from there. All right. I want to start with the scriptures that have the word elect in it. Okay. And we're going to deal straight out the Old Testament. We're not going to go into the New Testament. Okay. And it's a reason for that. So this is Isaiah 45:1. It says, "Thus said the Lord to his anointed." 45:4. Salakia. Isaiah 45:4. It says, "For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me." So right here it's clearly telling us who the elect is. Okay, it's the Israel, the mine elect. All right. Now let's go from there. Let's go to Isaiah 65. And the apostle brought these scriptures out already, as well as other men. But it's a point I want to get to. And you can't run from this. And you didn't open up your mouth. And anybody else that may believe, oh, the Lord, he's coming for the elect, and they'll say that the elect is anybody that believes, the believers. Now, the scriptures is clearly telling us who the elect is. Okay? Isaiah 65 and 9. We're going to go to Isaiah 65 and 9, and then we're going to jump to another verse in the same chapter. So Isaiah 65 and 9, it says, "And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob, and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountains, and mine elect shall inherit it. My servants shall dwell there." Now, we already read Isaiah 45 and 4. It tells us who the elect is. And then it's showing you right here, it's talking about Jacob and Judah. Okay? That and they're being referred to as the elect in this verse. Okay? Now let's jump down to the 22nd verse. Same chapter. So Isaiah chapter 65, verse 22, it says, "They shall not build and another inhabit, they shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are it says, I'm sorry, let me read that again. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands." Okay, so again, it's talking about the elect in this verse, and the scriptures have already established who the elect is. Now, the word elect, let's look up the word elect and see what the Hebrew word is, okay, and what the definition of the word is. Okay, so let's look it up. All right, so for the word elect, it goes back to the Hebrew word H972, and it says Bachar. I'm sorry, Bacharyar, Bakyar, okay, and the root of it is just Bachar, okay, which goes back to H977. So let's go to the root. Well, let's look at this and let's look at what it got right here for Bakyar, and then let's go to the root afterwards. So it says chosen, choice, it's chosen, choice one, chosen one, elect. All right, now let's go to the root. The root is Bakar. And it says it's the same thing. To choose, elect, decide for, to choose, to be chosen, selected. Now, there's many scriptures, and I pulled a handful of them that has the word chosen in it. And the Most High is identifying who chosen is, which that's just another way of saying elect. Because we're looking up the word elect right now, and the word elect goes back to the word Bachar, okay, which means chosen or chosen ones, okay. So I pulled out a handful of scriptures. I'm gonna read these. Let's go to Deuteronomy 7, 7 and 6. So Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, it says, or let's see. We know this is referring to the Israelites. It says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen or elected, selected the elect. Okay? The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are chosen upon the face of the earth. Okay? So the Israelites are the chosen. And now there's an order to it. So our Lord Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, he first came, first and foremost, he came for the elect of the nation of Israel, but ultimately, or he died for the nation, for the elect of the nation of Israel, but ultimately he died for the whole Israel. And we know that based upon reading Romans, the 11th chapter. And let me get I'm gonna bring this out. I'm gonna bring it out of my scriptures. I'm not gonna pull it up here on the blue letter. Romans 11 and 26. Romans 11 and 26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written. As it is written where? In the Old Testament. See? There shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For this is my covenant, the 27th verse, for this is my covenant unto them when I shall take away their sins. So he came to take away the sins from Israel, not the sins from the entire world. We're reading it right here. Well, I've read it right there in the scripture. So now I'm going to go to Deuteronomy 14 and 2. And it's saying the same thing that I just read in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Okay? So this is Deuteronomy chapter 14 and 2. It says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. Right, and we know this is talking about the children of Israel. You can go back to Deuteronomy 4 and 1, and I'm not going to bring it out. And you can get the understanding of who this is talking about. Okay, if you know the scriptures, you know that these verses that I've read is referring to the children of Israel. It says, this is Deuteronomy 14 and 2, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power, or God, and the Lord has chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all nations above all nations that are upon the earth. Now look, let's go into the word chosen, and let's see where this word goes back to. Okay. So we look at it right here, chosen in Deuteronomy 14 and 2. It goes back to H977, okay, which is Bakar, right? Same thing we looked up, or the word for elect, okay? When the word elect was, I believe we looked it up in Isaiah 65 and 22. All right. The root for the word elect goes back to this Hebrew word right here. So when you see the word chosen or you see the word elect, they go back to the same Hebrew word. All right. Now from there, like I said, I got a handful of scriptures. I'm gonna bring these out. Psalm 105, verse 6. Psalms 105, verse 6. And it says, O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen. Who's the children of Jacob? The 12 tribes of Israel. You look that word chosen up. See? Now let's look at it. Bakyar, okay? And it goes back to the root, which Bakyar, right here we seeing H972, but the root goes back to H977. And we already know what the word is. We looked it up. Chosen, choice one, chosen one, elect. Same thing for the root of this word. So let's go back. Psalms 105 and 6. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The chosen is the Israelites. O ye children of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen. Okay, let's go from there to Psalms 132 and verse 13. Let's bring it out. It says, for the Lord hath chosen Zion. Zion is another name for the Israelites. He hath desired it for his habitation. And with Salakia, right here, I believe it's actually talking about, is referring to the land, Israel. Okay? Because that's his chosen land. So Salakia, let me go to Psalms 135. Excuse me. The point still stands. It's overwhelming evidence through the scriptures who the chosen is, who the elect is. Psalms 135, verse 4. It says, for the Lord has chosen Jacob unto himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure. Same thing that was read in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, and also Deuteronomy 14 and 2. Okay. And I'm going to end this lesson right here in the book of Psalms. I'm sorry, not Psalms. Isaiah. Isaiah 41 and 8. It says this. But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. Okay. Now we go to Malachi. I'm gonna end this lesson on this scripture right here. Okay, because we can't, now that we didn't establish in the New Testament, in the Old Testament, that the elect is clearly talking about the Israelites, you can't just jump to the New Testament. And there's many scriptures in the New Testament that talks about the elect, referring to salvation. And we can't just jump to the New Testament, then all of a sudden, anybody that believes in who the world ignorantly knows as Jesus is part of the elect. Okay? Well, it will make this scripture not true. For this is Malachi 3:6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Now, for you to say that the elect can be of any nation that believe in who the world ignorantly knows as Jesus, then you're telling the Most High that he changed. When he's telling us in the scriptures, Malachi 3:6, for I am the Lord, I change not, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught us this truth through the Spirit, and peace and blessings unto the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.